AI isn't your enemy. It could be your savior.
A lot of the conflict we're seeing, and it's really going to be driving the dystopia. So here's an idea. So I was reading something the other day, and it talked about how billionaires are never satisfied because actually, what a billionaire wants isn't actually more money; it is more status.
Correct.
And I was looking at the sort of evolutionary case for this argument, and if you go back a couple of thousand years, money didn't exist. You were as wealthy as what you could carry.
Yeah.
So even I think to the human mind, the idea of wealth and money isn't a thing. What has always mattered from a survival of the fittest, from a reproductive standpoint, what's always had reproductive value, if you go back thousands of years, the person who's able to mate the most was the person with the most status. So it makes the case, the reason why billionaires get all of this money, but then they go on podcasts and they want to start their own podcast and they want to buy newspapers, is actually because at the very core of human beings is a desire to increase their status.
Yeah.
And so if we think of going back to the example of why wars are breaking out, maybe it's not money. Maybe actually it's status. And it's this prime minister or this leader or this, individual wanting to create more power and more status, because really at the heart of what matters to a human being is having more power and more status. And money as a thing is actually just a proxy of my status.
And what kind of world is that?
I mean, it's a fucked up one. All these powerful men have
correct
are really messing the world up. But
so can I
actually AI is the same, because we're in this AI race now where a lot of tech billionaires
100%.
are like, if I get AGI, artificial general intelligence first, then I basically rule
100%.
the world.
100%. That's exactly the concept. What I used to call the first inevitable, now I call the first dilemma. And Scary Smart is that it's a race that constantly accelerates.
You think the next 12 years are going to be AI dystopia, where things aren't going to go
I think
well?
the next 12 years are going to be human dystopia using AI.
And
human-induced dystopia using AI.
And you define that by a rise in warfare around the world as people.
So the last one, the RIPs, the last one is basically you're going to have a massive concentration of power and a massive distribution of power. Okay, and that basically will mean that those with the maximum concentration of power are going to try to oppress those with democracy of power. Okay, so think about it this way. In today's world, unlike the past, the Houthis with a drone. The Houthis are the Yemeni tribes basically resisting U.S. power and Israeli power in the Red Sea. Okay, they use a drone that is $3,000 worth to attack a warship from the U.S. or an airplane from the U.S. and so on. That's worth hundreds of millions. Okay, that kind of democracy of power makes those in power worry a lot about where the next threat is coming from. Okay, and this happens not only in war, but also in economics. Okay, also in innovation, also in technology, and so on and so forth. Right, and so basically what that means is that, like you rightly said, as the tech oligarchs are attempting to get